What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream today. Arsenal up to the dizzy heights of 9th in the Premier League. We're on page 1, people. We're back on page 1. We don't have to click the next button or scroll down to find us anymore. We're up to 9th. Well done, Mikel Arteta, man. All you guys should be proud of yourself. Big up everyone for tuning in today. Thank you very much. A little bit later than usual. It is Bank Holiday Monday today in the UK, and I was out and about doing a few things, but I did say I would do the show and obviously review the game yesterday. So I'm here. I hope you're all having a great day wherever you are in the world, and let's have a little look back on the game yesterday and a big week ahead, man. A big week ahead. Probably Mikel Arteta's biggest week as Arsenal manager. I think this is bigger than even winning the FA Cup, because I think the FA Cup, you know, as much as that was great, it was a building block that we haven't really built on, whereas winning the Europa League gets you in the Champions League, gives you that money. It's crazy. So, hey, big up everyone in the comments. Buenos Aires, Guna. We went from 11th to 9th, I'm telling you, man. Page 1, we're back, people. Craig, man. Do you know what? The game didn't go to plan, let's put it that way. I'm not allowed to tell the score because until the episode comes out, but we did lose the game. We did lose the game yesterday to Rant, so he'll have a big smile on his face, man. I don't like to make excuses because they were the better team and they deserved the win. We had a crazy situation with players dropping out on the day, which you get at this kind of level. I did score a goal, scored a good goal, to be fair. So I did what I could, but it wasn't enough, man. So we've got to play them one more time anyway. So we beat them in the cup. They've beat us in the league. We've got to play them again in the league. So we'll see how the third one goes. But big up to Ransom, that, man. They deserved it, to be fair. Big L for Burnley, man. Yo, Scully wasn't happy with the Burnley shout. He thinks we play like Man City, but Rance thinks we play like Burnley, you know. So, hey, it is what it is. Yeah, needed that hat-trick, man. Needed the hat-trick. Didn't happen, I'm afraid. But we move, you know. Big up, Damon from Sydney, Australia. How are you and the family? We're good, man. We're blessed. Alright, Curtis, you've seen the Serie A table, tight Champions League spot. Yeah, even Juventus, who've dominated that country for years. They're not even guaranteed a Champions League spot. Congrats to Inter Milan. Winning Serie A. Unbelievable achievement for Antonio Conte, man. You know, a guy who went over there and just wrestled the power back off Juventus very quickly. Lukaku's been a revelation over there. And, you know, I think that adds spice to that league now. It was getting a little bit boring, man, with Juventus. Big up Evie, man. Hope you're good, bro. Big up Jake. Big up Ragav. Big up Josh Shaw. He says, big up Curtis. We are page 1. We're now on page 1. No more scrolling down or clicking next, man. Some people were in the comments like, I can't believe you're celebrating page 1. I was like, bro, it's a joke, man. Relax. It's Bank Holiday Monday. We're chilling today, people. You lot know me. As if I'm going to be out here celebrating being 9th in the Premier League, man. There's levels to this thing. Conte, listen. Conte, why would he leave the joy of winning the Italian league? He's got Lukaku, Lautaro Martinez, Skriniar, all these top quality players to come and manage Arsenal, man. I just can't see it somehow, man, as much as I would love it to happen. Big up Tyrone Johnson. Big up Josh. Let's have a look at the game yesterday and have a little look. Ten Hag has signed a new deal, so I don't see that happening. And yes, Anthony, good, bro. And Andrew Gasser said, hello, Curtis, checking in from Mississippi, farming the sheep and listening to Arsenal. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man. Get them sheep farmed, man. And Static said, hey, Big C, the party has started. 9th again. Oh, man, I can't believe I'm getting dizzy. We're so high in the table. Let's have a look at yesterday's game. Although I've got to admit, I'm going to keep it 100. I spent most of the watch along yesterday looking at the Man United protest, which was much more exciting than the Arsenal game, if I'm being honest. Listen, just quickly as well, I will quickly talk about Man United and what happened yesterday. I know a lot of people are talking about it. For me, look, they broke up. They went a little bit too far with certain things. I believe they threw a bottle of beer at the commentators, and they let off a flare and threw it at them. That's too far. Come on, I can't back that. But listen, man, I'm on this power to the people thing, man. Listen, we know that's an inside job. Let's keep it 100. Listen, on this channel, I say it as it is. Yeah, I'm not going to beat about the bush. There must be a man there in Manchester who's got a little friend or a little cousin or a little brother who maybe is a part-time steward at Man United on a match day, and he's given him a little call and said, yo, bro, just leave that gate open for me, man. Gate 2, leave that one open, man, so the fans can get in. Because it's very difficult to just break into a football ground, Let's keep it 100 here. So, them man had fun on the pitch, man. I seen man, scoring bicycle kicks. Them man was holding up the corner flag like Spartans. It was all sorts of madness going off. Them man had fun. But they handled it well, They had, I think there was 200 fans outside the hotel where the players were. There was another 500 at the ground and a few thousand outside, man. They done their thing. They went a little bit too far, but hey, let's keep it 100, man. When have these football clubs cared about the fans? So, and that's headline news worldwide. You talk about getting yourself heard. They got themselves heard. They got a Man United v Liverpool game called off. That's what you call making an impact. Do you know how much money that will have cost the football club, having to pay all the staff and hotels and TV and all that? That someone's got to write a big check this morning. A man at the Emirates, bro, man, I'm not a steward, but I know a few people there. You never know. They might have to leave a gate open. I quite fancy taking a free kick at the Emirates. Nah, listen, I'm sure that will have made a lot of other fans think, do you know what? Maybe people have to go a step further, but nah, listen, it doesn't need to be violence and things like that, but they certainly made themselves heard, man. So, listen, shout out the United fans, man. They certainly used the people power yesterday. Right, so let's have a look at the game yesterday. We dominated the game. I watched It's funny, I turned over so much. I had to watch a lot of the game back because I didn't really watch too much of it. We won by 2-0. Mohamed El Neni / Mohamed El Messi with the goal. And Aubameyang got his goal, man. Aubameyang's goal was fantastic. Great ball in from Gabrielle Martinelli. Aubameyang finishes it off. Little fly kick volley into the empty net. He needed the goal. Because for me, if Arsenal are going to beat Villarreal on Thursday and progress to the Europa League final, then I think Aubameyang is pivotal. Now, Mikel Arteta said yesterday in the press conference after the game that Kieran Tierney and Alexandre Lacazette have not trained with the team yet. So he was saying he doesn't expect either one of those two to be available for Thursday. That obviously is terrible news for Arsenal. We could have done with both those guys available. The third bit of bad news, obviously, was David Luiz, who came in yesterday, played some fantastic long passes yesterday, and pulls his hamstring. Got a little bit of criticism from the fans. Some people were saying, was he brought back too soon? Listen, I can't answer that question. At the end of the day, only him and the medical staff will know whether he was ready or whether it's just unlucky that he pulled his hamstring. It's amazing that David Luiz, a player that most of the Arsenal fan base wanted out of the club, made such a difference just simply because we can't play the ball out from the back the way David Luiz can. But we still have to find a way. We have to find a solution. Big up South London's finest. Yes, Kurt. Smash the likes, people. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already as well. Let's get to 25k this week, people. I think I'm about 175 away. So I'm pretty confident we'll do that this week. 19 shots, 5 on target, 62% possession, 641 passes to their 396. Newcastle were pretty poor. Sent Maximum, Almiron, Wilson. They didn't really do anything. 1 red card, Sebastian Shaw, very bad tackle. As I said, we're up to 9th, people. The league's never looked this rosy. 2 wins in our last 5. It's been a dreadful season. 14 wins out of 34, 7 draws, 13 defeats, 46 goals scored, 37 conceded. Absolutely dreadful. And nowhere near good enough for Arsenal. We're quickly going to go through the player ratings, have a little review of everyone. If you guys just put your opinions in the comments. Let me know what you think as regards to each player. Big up John Layup with a super chat. Big up Curtis Shaw taking a free kick for trial at Arsenal and showing Ceballos how to play ball. Hey, listen, man, if someone leaves a gate open, I'll whip some free kicks, man. Don't worry about it. But what I liked about yesterday, I appreciate the super chat, John, by the way. What I liked about yesterday is that it opened a lot of doors and questions. No pun intended, by the way. Man United opening doors at Old Trafford. But no, it opened a lot of doors in terms of, the team selection for Thursday, because I saw a couple things yesterday, and I saw a lot of you in the comments talking about it, that made me think, maybe I would change the team slightly for Thursday. Now, Matt Ryan in goal. Now, I know it was Newcastle. I know he wasn't tested too much yesterday. It's not like he made 15 saves. But I just felt an ease and a presence about Matt Ryan in goal. And I haven't felt that ease about our goalkeeper, if I'm being honest, since Emi Martinez. Now, I'm not saying Matt Ryan is as good as Emi Martinez, because we need to see it over a longer period of time. Matt Ryan is smaller than Bernd Leno. Yeah, I'm seeing Matt Ryan come out and just command his area, just take crosses. I saw him organising the defence. He's catching crosses that Leno was punching. And you've thrown a big question mark into the air for me there, because I felt very assured with him. Now, I've got to be honest. I don't think Matt Ryan will play on Thursday, because Leno did have a pretty good game, to be honest, last Thursday against Villarreal. And I think that Mikel Arteta will stick with him. But Ryan definitely put himself in the frame there to be included moving forward. I think if I was him, I'd be thinking, listen, over time, I could try and push Leno out the team. That's what I'd be thinking. Tim said on the BBC, Premier League to stop any future breakaway leagues. I mean, can they stop it? That's the question. Darren says Matt Ryan looks more commanding and kicks long when he wants to. Sam said, are you at the protest Thursday? I'm not. Everything I'm hearing is that protest is not going to be anything major. I think a lot of the fan base feel like that isn't the right time to protest. Everything I'm hearing is that it'll be on Sunday when Arsenal play against West Brom at home. I think the game is so big on Thursday that people feel like, listen, let's just support the team Thursday, hope that they win the game, and then we move after that. Listen, like you're saying here, we can still keep the energy online, but I won't be attending a protest on Thursday. More than happy to go on Sunday, because I believe there'll be much bigger numbers at that protest. Ryan's better with his feet as well. Definitely looked a lot more assured. Curtis told you Leno is not the man, in my opinion. Listen, I think we may have to look for a new goalkeeper in the summer, unless Matt Ryan can be that player, or if Leno improves. Apparently, Ryan was speaking Spanish to Gabrielle, directing him where to go. Yeah, and those things are important. I know, obviously, Gabrielle speaks Portuguese, being Brazilian, but Portuguese and Spanish is not too dissimilar. And, I think Gabrielle does speak some Spanish. So those things like communication are important. Big game, big message. I hear you. Unfortunately, Arsenal Football Club have a bit of a soft middle and soft mentality, in the sense that, you could just see Arsenal protesting. Then we go and lose the game. Then Arteta kind of says, oh, the players were put off by the protest, and those kind of things. Did you see our net spend since 2013? I know we've spent a fortune. We have spent a fortune. Can't rely on Leno. Ryan is an Aussie. Big him up. What would you guys give Matt Ryan yesterday? Give me a rating for him. I thought he was very good yesterday. I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he did everything well yesterday. I think it's hard for a goalkeeper when you're not playing that often to come in the team and impose yourself, especially against a team that didn't test him too much. 420 says 9. Mustafa said 7. CJ Gunners 8. Mukil 7. Rush 7. One for all 8. Anthony, that's harsh. 6. I thought he was better than a 6. 10. 8 defo. I'm giving him an 8. 7, 8, I reckon, for Matt Ryan. I thought he did well. Hector Bellerin, I mean, he's been busy this morning. Trees have been planted all over the place. But he was okay, Hector Bellerin. It wasn't terrible. Put a decent ball in that Aubameyang should have probably scored from. That led to Mohamed El Neni finishing. I thought he was steady, Hector Bellerin, without being spectacular. I would probably give Bellerin a 6, 6.5. He wasn't really tested. He definitely didn't have a bad game. I wouldn't give Hector Bellerin a 5. He always makes inverted runs. I mean, I think the manager actually encourages him to do that. Still our best right back. Do you agree with that, people? Is Hector Bellerin our best right back? Flo said 5. Josh said 6. Zamar said 8. Wilson, I'd play him over Chambers. Wilson's, no, we'll get on to Xhaka. I'll give him a 6. I thought he was steady without being spectacular. He didn't really do too much wrong. That first goal was almost a Bellerin assist. Yeah, Aubameyang's miss-hit. You're forgetting what Leno has done for us. Yeah, I'm also remembering what he's done to us. Listen, he's a good goalkeeper. There's no doubt about that, but he makes too many mistakes. Too many mistakes. That's the problem. David Luiz, listen, he came off early. I thought he was having a good game. I would have probably been leaning towards a 7 or an 8 for David Luiz if we'd have kept a clean sheet. But he's come off, unfortunately, so it's difficult for me to mark him. But David Luiz was playing fantastic passes, defending well, looked assured. I would probably give him a 7. I thought he was doing really well up until that point, but obviously he's come off early, so it's quite difficult to mark him. 6, 7, something like that. Gabrielle. Now, Gabrielle, for me, I think Gabrielle is the future of this football club. I believe he can become a top quality centre-back. He's going to need a quality right-sided centre-back next to him. Will that be Saliba, or will we have to go elsewhere and buy somebody else? But I think when Gabrielle and David Luiz play together, those two look like a solid partnership. It's such a shame that David Luiz has got injured, because I would have played him on Thursday. I would have played both of them. We played Holding and Pablo Mari on Thursday, and they were terrible. I'll give Gabrielle a 7. I thought he was solid, but he definitely needs experience next to him. He's a bit over aggressive at times. You can see Gabriel loves defending, and that's actually, you're spot on. And sometimes he loves defending too much because he wants to win the ball so much, where sometimes he's got to stand there and be a little bit more patient. But I'll give him a 7 yesterday, and I agree, Gabriel needs a communicator, which is why I think David Luiz is ideal for him. Unfortunately, outside of David Luiz, we don't really have that. Chasma said Mari is our best defender. I have to disagree. I don't think he is. I think he's steady, but I don't think he is our best centre-back. I think he's okay. Good squad player. I wouldn't want him playing every week. Don't forget, Gabriel got player of the month. Was it 2 or 3 times in a row earlier in the season? Granit Xhaka at left-back. Granit Xhaka, for me, wasn't terrible yesterday. He got booked. This experiment has to finish, in my opinion. It has to finish on Thursday night. I do not want to see Granit Xhaka playing left-back against Chukwueze on Thursday. That is a weakness that got exposed on Thursday, and it can get further exposed. He's got to stop it. He's got to stop it on Thursday. He's got to play him in midfield. next to Thomas Partey. I'll give him a 6. He's not a left back. He's doing the best he can. He doesn't look comfortable there, really. When you run at him, he looks, like he hasn't got the pace. I mean, again, this is Arteta trying to be Pep. Pep puts Zinchenko at left back, who was a midfielder. All of a sudden, we can play Granit Xhaka there. I mean, Granit Xhaka's got no pace, and he's clumsy, Saliba and Gabrielle are the future, but Mari is key right now. It's just a shame he won't play Mari and Gabrielle together. Two left footers apparently can't play together. Man City played Nathan Ake and Laporte at centre back, and they were fine, both left footed. Two right footers would never be spoken about, but a lot of people think two left footers won't work. He could have been sent off. He could. I couldn't believe he was leaving him on the pitch. I think he wanted. He must have wanted a weekend off. I thought he was trying to get sent off. He's not going to stop it. Curtis. Sunday was a great chance to bring in Cedric and get minutes. He seems to have turned his back on Cedric completely. Granit Cole. Mari was awful in the first leg. That crucial save from Leno was from Mari. Mari just left him unmarked. Let's go to the midfield. Mohamed El Neni, El Messi, El Nino, El Naldo. Volley from the edge of the box. Good strike. Goalkeeper should have saved it for me. 100%. Got a strong hand to it. Palmed it into the bottom corner. He was steady. He got the goal, so I give him credit for that. Wasn't too bad on the ball. El Iniesta. El sideways. I'm going to be positive for him and give him a 7 because he scored. Still thought he was average during the game. Anderson said he's not a big fan of Mari like everyone is. I just think he's a squad player. But yeah, for El Neni, El Nandinho, I'll give him the 7. It was a 6 out of 10 average performance, but you got a goal, so I'll give him a 7. He deserves that. El Rocket Man. Danny Ceballos. I was calling him Kylie Minogue, but someone said to me yesterday, you do realize Kylie's sister, is Danny Minogue. Danny Ceballos, Danny Minogue, But the Kylie Minogue spinning around thing just worked too well. So we'll give Danny Minogue 6. He got better in the second half. First half, he wasn't great. Danny Cazorla, don't you dare put Cazorla's name in Ceballos' name. You're talking about a genius with a pop star singer, Man said the spinning top gets a 5. I thought he was better second half. I'll give him a 6. I'm trying to be positive because we won. Yeah, I heard rumors about Szczesny, to be fair. Would you guys take Szczesny back from Juventus? Being linked with a move in the summer. Yeah, the spinning top gets a 6. Let's go to the front three behind Oba. We'll start off with Willian. I mean, when you watch certain players and you just think they haven't adjusted to this team. When I look at Willian play for Arsenal, it's like he's on a different wavelength to the rest of the team. I still see a guy that probably wishes he was still at Chelsea playing for Arsenal. It's almost like he's an imposter. We've just dropped him in the team and he doesn't know how to adjust. Doesn't run at the fullback enough. He just doesn't work in this team. And we're stuck with him. That's the thing that worries me. He played a few decent crosses from set pieces, but I just don't rate him. He just hasn't worked out one bit. And I don't understand how. I don't think we can get him out the door. He's got 2 years left on his contract this summer. He's 32. He's on big money. Who's going to want to sign Willian? I think we're stuck with him. This will be another Mkhitaryan where we'll have to send him out on loan next summer and just let him play out the last year of his deal. Doesn't do enough. He works hard. I don't want to hammer him and say he was terrible, but I'll give him a 5. I'm being kind, because he did work hard. I felt like he worked back and helped Bellerin, put a few set pieces in, but he's just not good enough, in the sense that he doesn't fit our team. If we had a 6'5" striker and he was getting on the end of crosses, maybe it'd be all right. But I think you're right, Flo. I just don't think he's that interested in playing for Arsenal. I think he stayed in London because of his restaurant and his family. I think he's got no real feeling towards Arsenal and he's not performed at all. And yeah, I would rather give Reece Nelson a chance. And honestly, I don't even think Reece Nelson is all that good. But I would at least say, do you know what? At least Nelson has got an opportunity to improve. He's young, he's hungry, he cares about Arsenal. This Willian experiment, I mean, we need to end it somehow. Spot on, Curtis. He just doesn't fit the team. No desire to play for Arsenal. 100%. I'm almost certain if he was at Chelsea, he would be half decent, especially when Giroud and Abraham, tall players, play, because he does put crosses in. But for us, waste of time. Jamino said, just loan him out to a team who would probably be okay with signing him. He's a West Ham type of signing, only he'd actually be decent there, unlike at Arsenal. Yeah, Crystal Palace putting crosses in for Benteke, or, West Ham for Antonio. It just doesn't suit Arsenal one bit. It's retirement home settings. You're spot on. Martin Odegaard was tidy without being spectacular, and I don't know what it is. I'm going to keep it 100 as I always try to do, people. Odegaard, for me, is an extremely talented player. There's just no doubt he's a quality player. Do we have the team to get the best out of this guy? It's almost like the Mesut Ozil situation at times, where you were saying to yourself, there's no doubt about Mesut Ozil's talent, but do we have the team to have a player like that in our team? For me, Martin Odegaard, in that 10, you've got to get the ball to him early. He needs movement from both the wingers, making runs, and a striker that can link up play. They're talking about 40 million plus for him. I have to admit, 6-7 weeks ago, I remember the West Ham game where he bossed it. I was sitting there thinking, let's pay the money, let's get him. I'm now sitting there thinking, good player all day long, 40 million plus. I would look at my options. Let me just put it that way. The thing I'm not too convinced about, I like number 10s that can, score goals, create goals. That for me is the number one objective of a number 10. I believe Odegaard's got 2 assists since he's come to Arsenal, 1 or 2 goals. A bit lightweight. I think when teams mix it with him a little bit, he can get bullied a little bit. 30 mil, yes. 40 mil, no. You're saying Buendia over Odegaard. I mean, people are talking about Buendia, Fekir, number 10s that score more goals than him. There's no doubt that he's got the talent. I am a fan of Odegaard. But is he the answer? This is my worry. He's got no assists, apparently. I mean, yeah, I think Arsenal are going to have to look at that. I really do. I honestly, I'm getting to a point with Arsenal where I'm thinking, would we be better off playing with 3 centre midfielders rather than 2 centre midfielders with a number 10? You look at Liverpool last season. 3 centre mids, Fabinho, Henderson, Wijnaldum, none of them play 10. 3 centre mids, a collective 3 that work together. You've got the freedom for 1 or 2 of you to join in, but not necessarily with an out-and-out number 10. And I think with this midfield we're struggling to carry him. He is lightweight. He's definitely a good player, no doubt about it. But 40 million, I would definitely look at other options. I thought he was average yesterday. I'm going to be kind and give him a 6. He played a few decent passes, but we got to be honest. I'm not totally sure if Odegaard is the answer to our problems in number 10 when you're talking £40 million plus. He's a good player, definitely a good player, but is he the answer? I would look at other options. Fekir is too lightweight. I think he's a bit stronger than Odegaard. I think the worry with Fekir is that knee injury, Lingard is better. I mean, listen, maybe not a better footballer, but his eye for goal is better, He scored, 10 goals at West Ham? Would you guys take Coutinho being linked with Everton for £35 million? My problem with Coutinho is he's on about 250 grand a week, and he's also nearly 30. So how much hunger would he have? That's the problem. But Coutinho, of course, is a very good player. He doesn't need stats to make him a good player. I just think with a number 10, though, you do need some stats in terms of goal contribution. But Curtis, Odegaard is Haaland's captain. I mean, listen, if he gets Haaland there, we'll take it. But I don't think Haaland's coming to Arsenal somehow. Buendia is productive and can play 8 and 10, and this is where it may help us. And Buendia, I know it was in the Championship this year, but he's got big numbers in terms of goal and assist contribution. He immediately hit the ground running. Keep him. There's a balance. Is it that our team is not good enough to get the best out of Odegaard, or is it that he's not good enough to be a dominant number 10 in the Premier League? Arsenal midfielder scored the fewest goals in the Premier League. I mean, I saw that the other day, and that's just embarrassing. 2 goals in the Premier League from midfielders. One of them is a free kick from Granit Xhaka. I believe the other one is Odegaard against Tottenham, I think. So maybe we need to see a better team. Another year on loan, I would take that all day long, all day long. But if they just said now 40 million, I would have to have a think about it. Gabrielle Martinelli. Gabrielle Martinelli. Listen, I'm so glad he put in that performance because I'm sick of hearing Mikel Arteta talk about this guy. Oh, he's such a good player. That's why I kept him. And, he'll get his chance. Give him his chance now. He's ready to play now. He doesn't need to wait 6 months. He's ready to go. The guy is, to me, and I've said this for a long time, I don't know how you guys feel about this, and believe me, I'm not being reactionary. I believe Martinelli's ceiling in terms of potential is higher than Saka's, in my opinion. Saka at this moment, considering the season he's had, no doubt about it, he's above him at the moment. I think Gabby's ceiling is the highest of any what I would call young player at Arsenal. I believe he's a potential superstar. I genuinely do. I think he'll be a striker eventually. And, it'll be interesting whether he plays for Brazil or Italy. Apparently he can play for both. I think he's going to probably play for Brazil. He did train with their national team. He, for me, is a special player. Why I don't want to see this guy get dropped. And for me, and I don't know what you guys think, not only was he man of the match yesterday, he has to start against Villarreal. Now, I have to admit, I was talking about the team the other day and I was saying, potentially it could be. I think now you've got to put Saka at left back on Thursday and play Martinelli left wing because I want Pepe on the right. I'm not leaving Pepe out. I would take a chance on it. I really would. I think this guy has got to play left wing on Thursday. I think he's absolutely brilliant. I love watching him play. He's the closest thing to Alexis. There, you've said it. Maybe he hasn't got the talent of Alexis yet, but that low center of gravity, that hurrying to win the ball back. He looks for a goal. He puts a fantastic cross in with his left foot for Aubameyang. I just love watching this guy play. I love it. There's no way in this Arsenal team he should be getting benched on a regular basis. That left wing position should be his right now. And listen, I hope you don't think I'm slandering Saka when I talk about Gabriel in this this kind of light. I just see an even bigger potential in him than Saka because he's so tidy, and I think eventually he becomes a striker. I honestly do. For now, left wing, cool. He can develop on the left. What I love about him on the left, when he isolates the fullback, he's so dangerous. He drives at you quick. He's got a step over. He showed yesterday he can cross with his left foot when you're thinking he's all right foot. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. 9 out of 10. He didn't get the goal, so we ain't going to go 10 out of 10. I thought he was man of the match, and he's given Mikel Arteta a big decision to make. Stop wasting this guy on the bench. We're not a good enough team to have a player like that sitting on the bench. I'm sure he wouldn't be on the bench at other clubs. He's ready to play. Play him, let him develop, let him get picked for Brazil. That's only going to lift him as a player. Fantastic performance. I love the link-up play between him and Aubameyang as well. Aubameyang looks like he believes in him as a player. That's very important when other players believe in players. I was really proud of that performance from him. Could have just come on and sulked, this manager doesn't pick me. But he done his thing. Big up, Graham. Saka is not a left back like Xhaka. Bro, we haven't got a left back. That's the problem. Anyone you play at left back is not a left back. The one left back we have is injured. Cedric or Saka for me. They're your two options. I do not want to see Granit Xhaka at left back. Let's go to Aubameyang. Aubameyang got his goal. He was skipper. Had a few half chances, nothing major. Still doesn't look completely sharp, I've got to be honest. But the goal was vital. The goal was absolutely vital. I said during that game, even if he doesn't play well, get the goal. Get the goal. That's all he needs. He needs that confidence. He needs that smile on his face. He needs some work, you know. I'm going to give Aubameyang a 7. And I'm giving him that more because of the goal. Because he didn't play fantastic. But like you're saying here, I thought his link-up was much better. Something that Aubameyang's been questioned a number of times about his link-up. Ben said, you man in the chat, stop comparing Martinelli to Alexis. Listen, Alexis is on a different level. I've said it many times. Alexis, for me, is the best player Arsenal have had in the Emirates era. I know Henry played there, but Henry wasn't at his best at that time. I'm just saying there are similarities in the style of play, that kind of hunger, that raw South American fight, the low center of gravity, drives at players, just in that sense. Of course, he's not at Alexis level. Aubameyang, for me, I'm giving him a 7. And I totally agree, Joe. I thought him and Martinelli looked to have an understanding there, and I like that. And listen, I think Martinelli can even put this club in a position where if we sell Lacazette this summer and don't renew his contract, I think that we can actually not have to go and buy a striker. I think Aubameyang, with Martinelli, with Balogun in the background, that could potentially be enough if we develop Martinelli enough, you know, and we develop Balogun enough. Because we know that the striker market is lacking right now. You know, we're talking about Ivan Toney out of the Championship for 30 to 40 million. We don't know how good he's going to be. People are talking about, you know, Danny Ings, who's 29. You're talking about Memphis Depay, but I think Depay will end up at Barcelona. There are not many options. Patson Dakar, who's looked lively, but he's playing in Austria. We don't know if how good he is really. You know, the Austrian league isn't great. There are a lot of risky deals out there in terms of strikers to replace Lacazette. And we know that Eddie is definitely not the answer. Saka at left back is a no-brainer. Yeah, for me, I think so. And one thing that I enjoyed yesterday, and listen, is this guy here, Callum Chambers, right? A guy that I don't often praise too much. Callum Chambers came on yesterday. And I know it's Newcastle, and I know Newcastle are not a great team, but they had a decent front three on the pitch yesterday. In Callum Wilson, who I think is a decent striker in the Premier League. Almiron, who's decent, and St. Maximum, who's very dangerous. And I saw Callum Chambers bullying Callum Wilson. And he looked like he had a decent partnership with Gabrielle when he was on the pitch. And I have to admit, Callum Chambers, I think it was under Emery, was it? He was playing centre-back at times, and he looked steadier at centre-back. You know, I think he is better at centre-back than right-back. And I have to admit, if he's not going to take a chance on this Pablo Mari-Gabriel partnership that we haven't seen yet, I'm now thinking it could be Callum Chambers and Gabriel on Thursday night. What do you guys think about that? Like you said, finally he played at his natural position, Callum, and he did look good. Chambers is not a right back. I agree with that. I've never thought he was a right back at Arsenal. I like Chambers. He is good cover. Chambers is a good centre back. Chambers has always been better than Holding. He looked a lot more commanding. Won his headers. Strong. I saw him talking to Gabriel, and I think he might have played himself into the team there. He moved everywhere Ryan told him to and linked up with Gabriel. Well, yeah, man, I'm telling you. The right foot, left-footed thing. Nobody will fit in as long as we are this bad. Aubameyang's movement in the box is the best in the league. It's definitely up there with your likes of your Aguero and your Harry Kane. His movement's phenomenal. So, yeah, definitely his movement in the penalty area is what makes him the player he is. Chambers wants to play centre-back, but is he good enough? I mean, listen, long-term moving forward, no chance. We don't want Callum Chambers playing centre-back next season on a regular basis. But the situation we're in right now, where, listen, we've just got to get through Thursday night. David Luiz has pulled his hamstring, so we're choosing out of Holding, Gabrielle, Pablo Mari, and Chambers. What is the two that you guys would pick out of that? Is kind of what I'm saying. And I just think Rob Holding is a massive weakness. I really do. Every time he plays, I feel like he's going to get exposed. We have had 100 centre-back partnerships this season, yeah, and none of them the best, really. Big up John Leah. Arteta will sign Leon Lewis from the Jamaican second division. Listen, anything's possible with that guy. You just don't know, do you? Big up the real Janice with a super chat as well. Thank you very much, bro. Can you please tell the man them Holding is not good enough for Arsenal? Bro, I've said for a long time, why do you think I call him Bob Boldin? You know what I mean? We know he's not the answer. You know, he would struggle to get in that Newcastle team with Lascelles and Shaw. They're probably better centre-backs than Holding. I don't rate him. He got a 4-year deal at the start of this season and he wore the armband in the Europa League semi-final. Come on. Yeah, for me, again, I'm not the biggest fan of Chambers either, but I what I've seen of him at centre-back, he looks better than Bob Boldin, that's for certain. I think both of them I would consider moves in the summer. The thing is now, with this whole Brexit situation, you need so many English players in your squad, so we're always going to keep one of them, in my opinion. Oliver said liabilities, I think so. I just don't think they're the standard that we need to move forward. Did you hear 4-year deal absolutely robbed? Yeah, crazy, man. Arteta settings, bro. Curtis, did you hear Aubameyang's post-match interview? He said the last 5 minutes of the game he was really knackered, so that's a bit concerning. I can understand why. I think it was good for him to get that many minutes under his belt, though. And listen, we have to start him on Thursday. There's no doubt. Even if he has to come off last 15 and, you know, you move Martinelli up front or whatever, he has to play. He has to play. We know he's our best striker. I know he's had a lot of criticism this season. But if we're going to get through on Thursday, I believe Aubameyang will have to play a part. Now, I wanted to show you this just for a lot of people who've had a go at Aubameyang, and we know it hasn't been as good a season. Let's not pretend that it has, but this is Aubameyang's record playing up front since Christmas for Arsenal. Now, bear in mind that since about Christmas, just before, is when we introduced kind of Emile Smith-Rowe, and obviously we got Odegaard in January. That's when we've had that number 10. This is Aubameyang through the middle since Christmas. 13 starts, 10 goals. Play him up front, get a number 10 behind him to connect with him, and things happen. It's as simple as that. At the start of the season, we had him crossing balls in with his left foot on the touchline, running up and down. You know, I've seen games where he was at left back, covering, tackling. You know, you're just going to burn him out and ruin him. You don't give a guy 300 grand a week to play him out of position. Play the man up front. He's getting older. He needs to save his legs. He needs movement around him. Keep him up front. Lacazette, for me, move him on in the summer, unless he gets a short-term contract. But I would move him on. I think it's time to go for someone younger, more energetic. As much as I like Lacazette's link-up play, I don't want two strikers in their 30s taking home £500,000 a week between them. When you chuck on top of that Willian as well, what he's taking home, I think it's time to go in a different direction. Big up DLG said, for me, I can't see why Chambers and Gabrielle can't develop an understanding against Villarreal on Thursday night in a game which is succeed or perish. I think they can. I thought they were good yesterday. Lone Star says, fast start, press Villarreal high up the pitch, no fear on Thursday. Totally agree. I mean, listen, I believe that Juan Foyth, who turned into like prime Dani Alves on Thursday, I believe that he is out of the game on Thursday. That's what I was hearing, that he is out. Obviously, Etienne Capoue is out as well. Now, Villarreal won 1-0 yesterday against Getafe. They made one or two changes. Chukwueze and all these guys played. Foyth didn't play, and he wasn't on the bench. So I think he's going to miss the game. And that is a big loss for them, because you saw on Thursday night how many times he got forward, and he looked quick as well. So him and Capoue out is a loss for them. And listen, we need to put them under pressure. We need to put them under pressure. And I think we'll beat them, honestly. I'm not always the most confident about Arsenal, especially in big games under pressure. But I believe we're going to beat Villarreal on Thursday. And I think we're going to get through to the final. I think it'll be an all-English final. Now, if this doesn't go well, I look like a bit of a fool speaking like this, but I've just got a feeling, I thought Villarreal played well on Thursday for them against us, and I thought we were absolutely dreadful. And we got out of there with a 2-1 defeat. Now, to me, if we play well, I think we're going to beat them 3-1. I think we'll beat them 3-1. I think we're going to score goals against them at home. I know our home record has been poor. Now, I would love to keep a clean sheet, but I don't see this manager Arteta, picking the right defence. He'll do something crazy. I think he'll play Granit Xhaka at left back. If he was going to play Saka or Cedric or somebody else, surely he would have played them there yesterday. And he didn't. He played Xhaka again. He thinks Xhaka is Zinchenko at Manchester City now. Yo, clip it. Clip it. I'm saying it with chest as well. 3-1 victory for Arsenal on Thursday. We're going to the final. We're going to Poland, Man United, all-English final. Clip it. I'm saying it. And you guys know me. I'm not like that. I don't really commit to Arsenal winning big games because, we're not that team. And I can't trust this manager. But I think we're going to. I think we're going to beat them. We will obviously do a preview later in the week. And we will really get into the team lineup and all this sorts of thing. But I'm just trying to look now because I want to know your guys' opinion on the team that you would pick at the weekend. Has anything changed in your opinion because of the game you saw yesterday? Now, Oba will obviously be up front. There's no doubt about that. It should be Xhaka, but Xhaka's probably going to play left back. Almost every position in that team, there's an argument right now. Is it Leno or Ryan in goal? You've got Holding, Murray, Chambers, Gabrielle at centre-back, 2 out of them 4. At right-back, you could play Chambers, Cedric, or Bellerin. At left-back, you could play Xhaka, Saka, or Cedric. If Xhaka's at left-back, then do you play El Neni or Ceballos? Who would you play in the 10? Odegaard or Smith-Rowe? And then who do you play left and right? Do you play Martinelli? Do you play Pepe? Do you play Saka? Or do you play Saka left-back? There are loads of arguments to be had there. Bro, yeah, I'm telling you, man, I don't often speak loud. I'm saying it with chest. We're getting to the final. We're going to beat Villarreal. I'm worried about this team straight away because I've seen Rob Holding in it. So I'm already panicking. You've gone for Leno, Holding, Murray, Saka, Cedric, Xhaka, Partey. I like the attack and the midfield. I just don't like the back 4. I just can't go with that centre. Oh, you're right. How can I forget? Ceballos is suspended. So if Xhaka plays left back, he's going to play El Neni. He's going to play El Neni centre mid. That's what he's going to play. And that worries me. That seriously worries me. In my opinion, he'll play Saka right wing, right? He'll play Bakayo right wing. I can't see him dropping him to left back. Left wing, then you've got Martinelli or Pepe. And I love Pepe, but I can't ignore what Martinelli did yesterday. I just can't. I cannot ignore it. He would have to start for me. He would have to on the left. I think. And then the cam roll. Who do you put in the cam roll? Because I thought Odegaard was poor yesterday and poor last Thursday. But will this game suit him against the Spanish team at home? A little bit more space on the ball. For me, yeah, Granit Xhaka's got to play. We can't go into a game with Mohamed El Neni in the pivot. We just can't. Playing sideways passes. You can't do that. Would you go Odegaard or Smith Rowe? Pepe has to play. Can't be dry. All right. So listen, as I said, I would do this. Let me pick the team I would pick. Let's forget about Arteta. What does he know anyway? You know, I would do that. I would get Pepe in there. And I would play Cedric at right back because I do think him and Pepe have got a good partnership. I never, ever see Bellerin and Pepe really link up well. So I'm not a fan of that, those two playing. And I would go with that. I would have played David Luiz, but unfortunately that injury has done him. The cam roll, I'm still not totally sure about that. I think I'll go Smith Rowe, you know, for the work rate. Just in case we're under pressure. I think he gives us a bit more work. At the moment, Odegaard, is he still finding his way back to fitness? I think I would go with that. I want to know, guys, do you agree with that team? And if you don't agree with it, who would you play instead of who? So tell me who you would play instead of who. Now, David Luiz, for me, would have played next to Gabrielle 100%, but the hamstring injury rules him out. Thomas says Pablo Mari as well. Drew said, love Martinelli, but Pepe has to start. He's our best player in Europa. He's got a great goals to games ratio. Oh, yeah, I haven't even done the goalkeeper. Oh, man. He's going to pick Leno. Let's keep it 100. Would I pick Leno? Do you know what? Oh, man. He did play well last Thursday. He did. I'm very tempted to put Matt Ryan in it. Do you know what is with Leno? Leno's capable of that mistake that gets you knocked out the competition. And that's what worries me about it. I think I'll back him. I'll back Leno. He played well last Thursday. It's hard though. You know, I'd be very tempted to play Matt Ryan. Don't trust Chambers at centre back. It's just for me, Gabrielle has to come back in. And now we haven't seen Gabrielle and Pablo Mari together. So I just don't know if they can play together. And this ain't the game to find out about a partnership, in my opinion. Mari for Chambers, that seems to be the what. Mari and Matt Ryan are the two where, you know, there is an argument. I think most of the rest of it. Want to see Saka at right mid. Brett, who would you play at left back then? Give me a left back. In my opinion, that team beats Villarreal. That attack would be too much for them. And as much as I don't rate Xhaka, the Xhaka Partey pivot is the best that we've got so far. You know, that's our most stable. You got Martinelli on the left with Saka on the overlap. That's ripping their right back to shreds. Cedric and Pepe. Pepe has had most of his best games with Cedric at fullback. And the Chambers-Gabriel partnership, in my opinion, I thought yesterday looked solid. I know it was 30-odd, 40 minutes or whatever against Newcastle. But it looked better. Big up Amir, thank you for the super chat. El Neni may be sideways, but he really loses the ball unlike Partey. He's safe and calms the situation. Him and Partey with Xhaka at right back. I think you mean Xhaka at left back, of course, but I don't want Xhaka at left back. Listen, even that I would more be inclined to. Cedric at left back, Bellerin at right back. I would rather see that than Granit Xhaka at left back with Callum Chambers at right back. That's even worse. You know, we actually played a European semi-final last Thursday with no fullback at fullback. We had a centre midfielder in Xhaka at left back and a centre back playing right back, you know, and then an attacking midfielder playing up front. Just makes no sense. Just turn up with a striker up front and two fullbacks. I know Saka's not a natural fullback, but he's played there loads of times. Bro, you know El Neni is starting. Bro, I can already see it. He'll play Xhaka at left back. He'll play El Neni centre mid with Partey. He won't play Pepe or Martinelli. He'll play Saka and then one of the other two. He may even leave both of them out. That's how crazy he is. He might play Odegaard 10 with Smith Rowe on the left. This is why I don't trust him as a manager at all. Massive semi-final for Arteta. Listen, it's make or break. It's make or break. If we're not in the Europa League by 10:30, I'm saying 10:30 because we could have extra time. If we're not in the Europa League by 10:30 on Thursday night, I want him sacked. I ain't going to give him no patience, no transfer window, no another season. He's got to go. And do you know what? I'm going to say something. And I wanted to bring this up. I was speaking to someone yesterday. And as I say, I don't like to do the whole ITK thing. It's just working in the YouTube scene for the last year and a half. I've met certain people and certain people know certain people. It's not all gospel. But the word is that Arteta is not as secure in his job as everyone seems to feel like, you know. I'm hearing stories that there are certain players in the dressing room that are not overly keen on him. And I think you can see that, you know, he hasn't dealt with everyone particularly well. If you're Gabrielle Martinelli, would you like Mikel Arteta? Not really. It's left you out nearly all season. Pepe's been quite badly treated by him. You know, he has one bad game and gets dropped. Where you Willian, you know, at the start of the season, played about 11 games in a row. Lacazette was getting pulled off for Nketiah. Every game getting subbed off the pitch. You know, there are a lot of players. Danny Ceballos ain't happy there because he hasn't played enough. You know, there's loads. There's loads. I think there are players there that are not totally convinced. And what you got to understand, if we don't get Europe next season, this is the first time in 2 decades that Arsenal have not made Europe. That is a lot of money during a pandemic being pulled out of the Kroenke's pocket. So listen, people, don't be surprised if we're not in Europe next season, listen, I don't think we're going to make Europe through the Premier League. If we don't win the Europa League, don't be surprised if there's movement on Arteta in the summer. I'm not saying 100%, of course. They may just take the easy option and stick with him. But I'm hearing that people aren't as happy as they're making out, you know? Because I think with all this protesting and stuff like that, what's very good about it is the fact that if the Kroenkes or the Glazers at United, if they don't sell these football clubs, which it is going to be very difficult to make them sell, what it then does, it says, right, if you're not going to sell this football club, you have to go and invest. You can't get away with doing nothing. We're not accepting it anymore. If you don't sell, you better go and spend some money. So listen, let's see. I saw that yesterday. If he doesn't win Europa, they were saying he was getting sacked. As I said, not definitely getting sacked, but I'm hearing reports now that people are saying the energy is a little bit different, that he isn't guaranteed to just stay there. 2.5 decades, there you go, since we didn't qualify for Europe. Champions League streams, 100%. I mean, these are the even more exciting games, to be honest. Second legs. So obviously tomorrow night, it's Man City, PSG. It's a big game. And then obviously on Wednesday, Chelsea, Real Madrid, and then the big one. Forget Tuesday and Wednesday night Champions League, mate. Thursday night football, Arsenal against Villarreal. That will be seen as FC beyond belief, because if we get knocked out of a semi-final to Unai Emery, the guy that we sacked for failing in the final, then we might as well just FIFA settings, delete club and start again. Pro Evo, North London Red. You know what I mean? And just start again. Graham said the owners might sack Arteta to appease unhappy fans to take the heat. There you go. There you go. Because listen, if the Kroenkes don't sell, what they have to do then is try and earn back some sort of favour with the fans. If they feel like the general energy is this manager's not good enough, sack the manager, you make a big signing, you know, maybe things calm down a little bit. But I think the fans, we've got to keep going. We've got to keep applying that pressure on these owners, you know. And like I said, I don't think the protest on Thursday will happen, or it won't be a big one. I'm hearing Sunday, West Brom at home is going to be the next proper one. We're going to beat Villarreal. I'm going large, bro. I said it. I'm saying it with chest. We're beating Villarreal on Thursday. We're going through. And you know me, I don't really talk about Arsenal like that no more because they don't fill me with confidence. We're going to beat them. I'm telling you, people. I've watched them a few times. They actually played well against us on Thursday. I've seen them about 5 times this year. I actually thought they did well against us, and they still only beat us 2-1. We picked the wrong team, and we played shocking. We'll have a better team out this week. Aubameyang will be back. The fullback situation, I'm not sure what he'll do, but I am worried that Xhaka's going to play there, and I think he will play him. But I think we're going to beat him. I think we're going to beat him. Curtis with the rage quit. Certain times you have to, man. We will get to the final but won't win the trophy. That's the worry, innit? But at least in a final, anything's possible, Big up Amsterdam boy says, big up Big C. Really appreciate your channel. Keep it up. When can we start going to games? I'm hearing the last 2 league games of the season, we can have fans. I think Crystal Palace away, we're allowed 500 away fans. And then Brighton at home, I believe we're allowed 10,000 home fans for that. But I'm sure we'll hear more about that in the coming weeks. Saka at left back, Martinelli left wing. I called it, bro. 100% would be on that. Hopefully not Baku part 2. What I've learned from Arsenal is don't trust Arsenal. And you know what? You're pretty much bang on. To be honest, you are bang on. Arteta out or Kroenke out? I mean, for me, both. But if I had to take one, it would be Kroenke because I'd like to believe that a proper owner would probably get rid of Arteta eventually anyway. Or he would give him the money to build the team, and then if it didn't work, you get rid of him. We're getting rid of Arteta, keeping Kroenke will only change so much, 1,000 of you in the chat, people. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. We only need 175 more subscribers to hit 25,000 subscribers, which will be fantastic and highly appreciated. And I'm going to get a few guests on this week. I've reached out to some people today. I will let you know tomorrow who's coming on and what day. A couple of people have said they can come on, but haven't confirmed the days and times yet. So tune in for that. I'll be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow it will be around 2 p.m. Today was bank holiday. I was out and about. So that's why I started a little bit late. Listen, Jose's out of work, people. I called it before he went to Tottenham. It's never too late. He's probably the biggest manager out of work, along with Allegri. No, I think Jose's time in the Premier League is over, man. I think he'll end up going to a different country and managing there. But hey, it is what it is, people. So tomorrow we'll be back at 2. And don't forget, Champions League watch along tomorrow night. Man City, PSG. Wednesday night, watch along for Chelsea, Real Madrid. And of course, Arsenal against Villarreal on Thursday. And listen, people, you can clip this. We are going to beat Villarreal on Thursday. And we are going to get to the Europa League final. It's going to be a bad evening for Unai Emery. Clip it, people. I'm telling you, I'm putting my neck on the line. Bread is bread and cheese is cheese, as Mourinho would say. Don't forget, smash a like, subscribe, enjoy the rest of your bank holiday. Stay safe, people, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bless.